Good evening, everyone. It is Friday night, October 25th, 2019. Oh, those damn Leafs. Those damn frickin' Leafs. Those damn Leafs win over the San Jose Sharks 4-1, although this game was closer than that, folks. Welcome to Town After Dark. This is your live and interactive Sharks postgame. So do us a favor. You want to be part of the show? Join us in the chat with us and fellow fans in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. But of course, we also encourage you to enjoy our content on the social, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit. And of course, for more Sharks content, hit us up on tealtownusa.com. Hi, everyone. It is Puck Guy and AJ Strong.
What the hell is this? I don't even know what that means.
Oh, it's just ta-da!
Seems like it's been a while.
It's been a while since we seen you on After Dark, so good to have you. Yeah. By the way, I like our matching jerseys behind us. That's pretty cool. So, Sharks come off a victory over Montreal. They're coming in, and it's the return of Patrick Marleau to Toronto. It's Marleau's 1500th Sharks game. So let's get into it, shall we? And
Sure.
39 seconds in, Logan Couture takes a slashing call on Muzzin. What a great start that is. Sharks get on the penalty kill, where, hey, the penalty kill has been probably the brightest spot so far this season for the Sharks.
Yeah, and okay, fine. If that's what you want to hang your hat on, sure. I mean, obviously you don't want to discount being badass on the PK. They were also fantastic tonight, but the fact of the matter still remains: this team has a very difficult time scoring 5-on-5 goals. But yeah, I mean, it was 39 seconds. 39 gets yes.
Number alliteration, right? Uh-oh. And well, it wouldn't be a show with me if there weren't any technical difficulties. AJ is reconnecting. There is a poor network connection. Of course there is. So we'll move on. Kapanen, as AJ gift on the Teal Town Twitter. Kapanen takes a shot to the grill off of a stick from Burns. And, I know. AJ for once, it's not me. Yay! He'll be back on in just a second, folks. But we'll see what happens. But that's hilarious. I'll just keep going back to him in a little bit. But there we go. AG, you with me?
Common denominator.
Comment.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
All yeah, AOL. See, I haven't had any issues this badly.
Yeah, you haven't listened to the show. Go ahead.
I haven't had this bad of issues on there, but we'll move on. 10:35, Kevin LeBanc gets his fourth from Burns and Hurdle. Nice deflection by the banker, who scores a goal in his second consecutive game. What did you think of Banker?
I mean, he's definitely tried to. Let's just say there's been a bit of an effort in him after being called out by Couture.
Yep.
Wish you could say the same thing about Timo. I'm kidding, but yeah. I mean, Baker, second goal in 2 games. You got to appreciate that. The thing about this is I like what the Sharks. I mean, they open up the scoring Great feed from Hurdle, by the way, over to Burns.
Oh yeah.
But I thought the Sharks for this one, they came out well, considering they're on the back-to-back, considering that, last night, we don't need to go into it again, but Heed only getting 3 minutes, his butt stapled to the bench for pretty much like the second or the last like 35 minutes of the game. So they were, the guys are double shifting on the defensive pairs. So back-to-back on the road in third game in 4 nights. I actually thought the Sharks, after they got through like the first 5 minutes, I thought the Sharks actually looked really good. The last 15 minutes of that first and like the first half of the second, I thought they had decent possession. They were getting some decent chances here and there, but they just weren't ever able to put the rubber on the net.
Right. And what is it about 5-on-5? I mean, granted, tonight they get a goal 5-on-5. It's their only goal 5-on-5, but it's the frustrating part of it. I mean, they're working on it. I mean, would you say they've been playing better?
No. No.
He's a man of few words, folks. It's been that long.
Dude, it's just that I look at it, it's like you're like 20th the league and 5-on-5. Now, granted, it's like, yeah, your power play is like in the top. I think it's like number 8 coming into this game. You got the number 1 PK. Okay, that's great. Your special teams are killing it. Problem is that you've got a -9 goal differential when it's 5-on-5.
Right.
That's where the majority of the game is played. That's going to be a problem at some point, and it's coming pretty damn soon. And then not only do you talk about the lack of 5-5 scoring with that -9, you talk about just pucks on the net. And I'm looking at my paper tonight, and okay, so Marleau came back versus Chicago, right? In that game, right. Sharks 4 more shots on goals than Chicago. Since then, they were outshot by Calgary, outshot by Carolina, outshot by Buffalo twice, and outshot by Montreal, and outshot tonight by Toronto by a significant margin. So you've lost 3 of your last 4, and you've been outshot in the last 2 games. Montreal 37-23, and then tonight, what was
27-17?
17. Are you kidding me?
Toronto had 17.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, sorry, but Toronto had 17 after 2 periods. So
crazy. This is what I'm saying. It's you're not getting pucks on net, and you're not able to do anything 5-on-5. Now, granted, people know I have a drum here specifically about special teams. Haven't had to whip that thing out at all once Kane and Marleau came to the Sharks. Hasn't been a problem. It's been fantastic after they started the season going 1-16. But the fact of the matter still remains, this team is having a very difficult time 5-on-5 and just shots on goal over the last 4 games. And this is obviously something that needs to be addressed, PDQ, as in pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
And you would think that going into Canada's capital in Ottawa is going to help that.
Oh, yeah.
But boys, get some rubber on the net, guys.
Yeah.
You're not gonna lull Frederickson to sleep the way you lulled Carey Price to sleep with a lack of shots.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And they've been passing up chances to shoot. I remember one tonight where Kane, I think, was trying to go across ice to Couture, and that might have been like on one of the penalties. But, I mean, you got to take chances on your net, and good things can happen. We've always said that for years, But, what?
Well, even Chris pointing out in the chat that, that fucking guy, Chris, bad goal differential evens, even worse shot differentials. That's the other issue,
Right.
It's, put some rubber on the net, boys.
Yeah. Morocco 3-2-3. I had this up earlier. As dumb as it sounds, they play so scared 5-on-5. They play constantly scared to make a mistake. You know.
Yeah. Well, see, to me, they don't play enough scared to make a mistake because how many times have we seen, and we saw it tonight uh, with Muzzin sneaking in, kind of all the defensive guys were like, they're all puck watching, and
Oh,
Muzzin
yeah.
sneaks in and buries it with 2 seconds left in the second. And you sit there and you go, what the hell just happened? Like,
Well,
how did you let him sneak in? We saw this versus Montreal, where guys were sneaking in and they're allowing defensive guys to get behind them. Or I'm sorry, not the Sharks are allowing guys to get behind their defense. They're not picking up. I don't know if it's missed assignments. People aren't doing what they're supposed to do, but this is something that needs to be like looked at very harshly. And we've sit here and talked about it numerous times, and I don't care how many people come at me on Twitter or social media because don't care. Fact of the matter is, you have arguably the best defenseman in the league. Factually, the highest paid defenseman in the league. Has he made some great plays offensively? Absolutely. Does he need to be better defensively? Absolutely.
Can't go any wrong with that. In that sense, on the Muzzin goal, that was with 2 seconds left. It was Burns and Dillon, and I think they were behind the goal line. No one picked up Muzzin. Muzzin's like, well, heck, I got 3 seconds. What's going to happen? The puck goes out of the zone, ends the period, boom, comes right into the slot, boom, score, tie the game up. But let's go back a little bit here in that sense. Ferraro takes another tripping call, and those are starting to add up a little bit. At the tail end of that, we see Brendan Dillon drill San Remo native Austin Matthews, and he heads to the dressing room. I'm not trying to poke you, but I mean, there are some that were questioning if that was a headshot, and of course, supplemental discipline coming, especially since he missed most of the period. So
F you.
Well, I love you too.
Supplemental discipline. Kiss my ass. Okay, seriously, kiss all. And actually, to quote a favorite friend of ours, eat my entire ass. Okay,
Wow.
You're talking about supplemental discipline. Get the F out of here. Okay, look, was it a solid hit? Yeah. Now here's what I want to, here's the log that I want to throw on that fire. The Toronto announcers literally said, wow, you look at that. That's a clean hit, really. Austin needs to have his head up. And that's exactly right. You're going to penalize Dillon because he's like 5 inches taller than Matthews? Like, it happens. Okay, fine. Now, if you want to sit there as a Toronto fan, and I get it, you guys are the anointed ones. Haven't won a cup in 50 some odd years, but sure, you're the anointed ones. The fact of the, and Austin Matthews is the second coming. But because that's my whole thing. It's like, if that play happens to like Riley, does everybody like lose their stuff anyway?
Yeah, it would.
Probably,
Riley,
well,
if it was like Kerfoot, then yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, everybody loses their mind because it was Austin Matthews. Fact of the matter is, Matthews came in hot into the offensive zone. Dillon's there, stands him up. Now, fact of the matter is, Austin's like what, 6'1" on a good day. Dilly's like 6'5", and Austin Matthews has his head down. Stuff like that, it's going to happen. But my problem is, if you sit there and try to blow smoke up my ass about supplemental discipline or any BS like that, I will sit there and I will show you 2 hits to the head, shots to the head that Justin Braun took during last year's playoffs. Not even a call from player discipline.
Well, look,
Tomas Hertl shot to the head. Not even a call from discipline. And so I look at that and I go, really? You're going to call? And then what did Carlson get? Did we get like 2 games for the shot on Wagner?
Yeah.
Was that he got 2 games for the shot
and
on
I would
Wagner.
think that's kind of similar to what happened a little bit.
I think Carlson's was much more egregious than what happened tonight. Because again, it's Austin Matthews coming in head full of steam, ass on fire. Dylan gets in his lane. What if? So the whole thing is basically we're saying that if Brendan Dillon was 5'11", it would have been perfectly fine. To me that doesn't require supplemental discipline. Sorry, and try again.
All right. Laurel coming in with some comments from our good friend Uncle Darren Stevens. The Sharks have 303 shots on goal through 11 games. That averages out to 27.5 per game. It is their fewest through 11 since 2007-08, where they had 24.8.
The fewest since who was the coach?
What we're trying to do is bake a cake. And if we don't have the ingredients...
Stop it.
That would be Ron Wilson, former Sharks and Maple Leafs head coach.
Yeah. No. Not doing it. No, it's did he drill Matthews? Yeah, because Matthews came in, like I said, full head of steam. That's what happens. You know what? Keep your head up. As our beautiful God-given friend to the show, Drew Remenda says, head on a swivel. You don't have the head on the swivel. That's what's going to happen to you. So, again, I point at the stuff that was let go during the playoffs last season. So, if those aren't headshots that like Justin Braun took and Tomas Hertl took, then this clearly, certainly was not a headshot. This was Austin Matthews not having his head up, and that's what happens, and we move on. And to pour gas on that fire, no call by the officials. So, boom.
Granted, they did have a hooking call on Goodrow right after that, so you wonder if that's
Jesus Christ, what a makeup call that was. I mean, we've got the GIF on, as we have all the GIFs on the Teal Town USA Twitter account. You can go back, look at any significant play, whether it's a scoring play, a penalty, any of those things. They're always going to be on the Twitter for Teal Town USA. And that is one of the silliest hooking calls. Like, literally, everybody's looking at it going, what? And this has happened, like, over the last couple of games where Ferraro got called.
And then the next game, the same thing happened on Sorensen, and there was no call.
Yeah, it was like, but Ferraro gets called for playing hockey, gets 2 minutes for playing hockey. Brent Burns got... what they said holding, when he apparently held CC at, halfway between the first. And even, Jamie Baker's going, really? That's a hold today? Okay. And you look at it and you're just like, God damn. And it just makes you wonder, man. It's like, when are the Sharks going to stop paying for the refs' ineptitude for last playoffs?
How dare they?
When do we get to that point where it's like, okay, we've finally paid off the debt? That's just what's driving me driving me crazy. But anyway, anybody who brings up the hit that Dylan, it's like I have a whole bunch of playoff games to show you from last season.
Heck, what was it? Mark Stone had one earlier this year. I think it was against Nashville that didn't even get looked at, and I was like, moving on.
Well, and like you said, with Muzzin scoring like 2 seconds left in the second, it's a case of the Sharks let him sneak in. Yep. Again, between not getting enough rubber on net, the 5-on-5 scoring, but letting guys sneak in behind them, not picking up, the drifter, not picking up that odd man who's sitting there waiting, just rubbing his, hands together going, okay, they're all about to stare at this puck. Watch this. Sharks need to get better at that in a big way.
Anthony, and I can't pull it up right now, but Anthony was mentioning, do they need to change their style of play where they are dumping and chasing, getting to the puck to set up the pass up to the point for the shot and hope for a tip? I mean, that's kind of become their ammo now.
What, do you think it's a case of like they still think Pavelski's on the team?
No, I think they think that they have other players who can do tips.
Name one.
Well, I mean, we saw it tonight. We saw it tonight. LeBanc. We had Hertl.
LeBanc is not a Pavelski.
I mean, Gambrell had one. What was it? Last game against or no, 2 games ago against Buffalo. I mean, but yeah, I'm not going to compare
Yeah,
Gambrell
no,
with Pavs, but there
we're
are guys
not
who are looking for a tip.
aside from Burns in these first 10 games, aside from Burns, who has set up for the Sharks in that Pavelski slot? No one. No one has. Now, from what I understand, during practice, even training camp, all that stuff, they were kind of looking at Evander Kane in that slot, but that hasn't worked out. Okay, fine. We move forward. The thing is that if you have an inventive coach, look, we can all sit here and dump all over Steve Spott. We've almost made a career out of it, but the fact of the matter is,
he's a great photographer, though.
Well, and the power play, like I said, is eighth right now. You can't dump on Steve Spott right now. You really can't. Statistically speaking, can't dump on the guy right now. It's 5-on-5 that's not getting it done. So is that a PDB issue? Well, if you're hoping that PDB is going to see a pink slip soon, good luck. He just signed an extension over this offseason, multi-year. Now, granted, yeah, I get you. Hello. Many coaches have been canned after signing a deal.
Kevin Constantine.
Hello. So, I mean, it happens from time to time, but either way, I still think, and we know Doug Wilson believes in the process. I get that. I think it's going to be at least another 10 games, but we got to get to that quarter-way mark before we see anything significantly changed. However, we did witness Doug Wilson, I don't know, playing Candy Crush, something on his phone tonight when they went to commercial.
No, see, I think he was looking for the link for tonight's show. That's all.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
That's probably right. So, I mean, after 2 periods, it's tied at 1. Again, I felt like the Sharks, for the most part, like they were, they were losing the face-off battle barely, but they were out-hitting them. They had more takeaways, more giveaways. This was not a team that you thought, looking at them, was like, wow, these guys played last night. I thought they played, and the fact that Toronto was rested for a few days, and it's in Toronto, so I was impressed by the effort that the Sharks did put forward. Pretty much after that, it's almost like the Couture penalty in the first 40 seconds woke everybody up, but I thought they were fine, and then the third period.
and the irony at 30 seconds that Timo Meier closes his hand on the puck. Oh, the irony.
Stop touching the puck, Timo.
Timo, we like getting our hands on pucks, not you. All right?
Dude, there's a hockey puck somewhere that's about ready to start a Twitter account just so they can say #MeToo, Timo.
Oh, boy.
I'm being touched without wanting it. Stop touching me, Timo.
3:38. I'll move on before we get into trouble. Melker Karlsson was trying to deflect a puck. Unfortunately, he deflected it over the glass. That sets up a Toronto power play that did nothing.
Back-to-back delay of games. But still, yeah.
It's shades of the beginning of last season.
Yeah.
We're
bit of that.
I'm sure.
Poor Kevin Labanc, dude. Kevin Labanc was going to start he was ready to It's like, dude, do I need to sign a lease for the penalty box? What's up?
Right. And he's been doing it himself, unfortunately. So 3:38, Milkman goes to the box for puck over glass. I thought the Sharks had a couple of decent shorthanded chances there, but again, as we said, a little too passy and not shooty. And I'm not referencing Shooty Babbitt.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm going, you're like we've said. I'm like, we have never said those words. But anyway, no, definitely more passing. But we talked about it earlier. Is that, what was it tonight? What was it, 17?
17 shots on goal. Yeah.
It was what was it, 3 in the third and 4 in the 3 in the second period, 4 in the third period. But 3 shots on goal in the second period. Are you kidding me? You came out, you established a good play. Again, pointing at the fact you're playing back-to-back on the road. Toronto's rested. You're up in most of the stats. You're playing well. The only thing you're not doing is putting the frickin' puck on the net. Like, dude.
I mean, how many times were we talking about when Timo first came up with the Sharks? How he was just throwing pucks on net so much. And yeah, maybe you're not exactly the best shot quality, but you're getting pucks on net. And it's almost like, okay, just throw the freaking kitchen sink at the goaltender for crying out loud. You know? I mean, geez.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. It's, let's see let's, I mean, not to act like a porn star producer, but let's see the rubber. I mean, let's see some pucks on the net. I'm going to invoke my inner Zach and just we need to have some pucks on the net. I mean, that's
but
again,
Zach is right. But Zach is right.
No, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that the Sharks have been outshot in their last 5 games. I'm looking at it right. No, I'm sorry, last 6 games. Mm-hmm. And the 7th game, Chicago, when Marleau came back, San Jose 34-30, so 4 shots more. But after that, 20-33 in a victory over Calgary, 22-38 in a victory over Carolina. Now, granted, you look at that and you go, well, goddamn, Jones and Dell, nice work.
Right.
And we can definitely say that about Dell last night versus Montreal, 35 of 37. But 32-35 now against Buffalo in game 1 versus Buffalo and that home and home. I mean, 32, that's not something to sneeze at. Mm-mm. And then Buffalo game after 28-29. Again, both of those games. Yeah. And then you look at the final score, kind of indicative, both of them ending 4-3, second one in overtime. If LeBanc and Meyer don't, have a brain fart, maybe that ends differently. But last night, 23-37, This is my whole thing, people. Okay. We're talking about spending how much? 11.5 on Erik Karlsson and 8 million. So we're already at 19.5 for 2 guys, Burns and Karlsson. Then 18.5. Let's drop another 7 mil on the fire. And now we're talking 25.5, nearly a third of the cap space dropped on 3 defensemen. And these 3 defensemen are going to let in, let me check my notes, 37 frickin' shots. And you want to tell me how great Erik Karlsson is? F you!
Well, and then you look at Marc-Edouard Vlasic, who's been for years probably one of the most defensive-minded defensemen.
Yeah, where's that guy been?
Exactly, and that's the problem, is that Vlasic isn't his usual self. Burns. Yeah. I mean, Burns. I hate to say it, but Burns is Burns. I mean, we've seen that, and maybe that's probably guilty of, we're used to it, and maybe in a couple of years when we have Karlsson, it'll be the same thing where we're used to seeing some of these things. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. But this is my whole thing. And I brought this up on social media, I don't know how many times, the defensive miscues by the Sharks. And I shouldn't say by the Sharks. Are the defensive miscues by Burns and Vlasic, and especially Erik Karlsson, are they magnified because of the contract they have? Abso-frickin-lutely. And now let me explain why. If you're the highest paid defenseman, I'm not talking in the Pacific Division, I'm not talking in a conference. If you are getting the most money as a defenseman in the entire NFHL, the National Effing Hockey League, if you are getting that much money, your mistakes are going to be under a fucking microscope because you are the highest paid defenseman. People are going to expect that you make 0 mistakes. And the mistakes that you do make are not going to adversely affect your team. Now, so far, Hold on. I have to grab somebody by the pussy.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
there she is. There she is. I'm
There
sorry.
you go, Laurel.
I had to grab my pussy by the
Oh
pussy.
my God.
But when
Phrasing.
you do that, that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, EK65 could be the second coming. And that's the whole thing is he could make 10 amazing outlet passes, 4 assists. But you know what people are going to remember? They're going to remember that one giveaway that led to the goal that ended up being the game winner against the Sharks. But that's what happens is you sit there and you look at the stats and you go, who was on the ice for that game-winning goal against us? Oh, Erik Karlsson. And then you look at the replay and you see that Karlsson gave it up in the neutral zone, and that's what led to it. It will negate all the good plays he made earlier. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, so don't fucking at me, you tweeps. And the reason why I'm a little, got my hackles up about Twitter is because Twitter has been a fucking shit show over the last 2 or 3 weeks. People are like reading into stuff that I'm not even tweeting for some reason. Let's hashtag 2007. But anyway, the fact of the matter is it's going to be under a microscope when it comes to Erik Karlsson because he's getting the most money. That's just the way it is. It's happened for other players. Can we talk about Connor McDavid for 5 seconds? Remember when he got the deal he got? And then he went on like a 5, 6, 7 game spree where he had like 1 assist over 7 games. And everybody's like, oh my God, incredibly overpaid, overrated, blah, blah, blah. He's still Connor fucking McDavid, and he's still going to produce the points. So that's my point, is when people dump on Erik Karlsson, yeah, they're going to dump on him because people understand it. It's magnified. Highest paid defenseman in the league. There you go. Tim Heed makes those same mistakes. Nobody says dick because Tim Heed's making like less than $1 million. Now, let's also throw one other thing about Tim Heed. So far, from what I remember, we're 10, 11 games into this circus. Tim Heed still not on the ice for a goal against.
And yet he's getting sparingly used, but we'll save that rant for another time.
Yeah, and can we talk about the fact that Erik Karlsson and Brett Burns lead the NHL in ice time right now? How's that going to play in March and April?
That's my point.
If it continues.
That's my point, is that March and April, heck, if this team does go far, how gassed are they going to be because of tonight? Let's finish.
Well, we would hope that Shimmick will come back, but anyway.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, they're on the road trip.
Well, and I like this. Rob in the chat saying Heed is likely waived. What the hell are they waiting for? If they're going to waive Heed, what do you wait? Like, he's too good to waive, but not quite good enough to play. Like, come on. Proud's there. Carrick's there. I mean, shit, put your tank in, give him a defensive number and throw him in there. I mean, I don't care, but it's sick to look at. You go back and look at when Erik Karlsson got injured. What was that? It was like 2 games before the All-Star game, right? Last season. It was like Arizona. I think it was versus Arizona.
So.
Like a game or 2 before the All-Star break and blah, blah, blah. And then Erik Karlsson was out for like a month and a half, whatever. Tim Heed. Okay, I hate to break it to everybody. Tim Heed is not frickin' Erik Karlsson, people. He's just not. Is he a tall, skinny guy who shoots right-handed? Yeah. And that's about where the similarities end, people. But Tim Heed is still a serviceable defensive guy if he would be given the opportunity. Again, I go back and I look at when he was covering for Erik Karlsson. He did a very serviceable job. I don't know if Tim Heed, I don't know what he has done to the Peter DeBoer family. I wish he could take it back, but it was 3-12 last night versus Montreal. What was it tonight? It was,
he was
somewhere
8-15.
So well, hey, you damn near tripled up after a day. So hopefully that continues. And now here's the thing that I really want to get into for a hot second. This, my friend, is what I think is really jacked up. Last night, did the Sharks win?
Yes.
Tonight, did the Sharks lose?
Yes.
How much time on ice did Tim Heat have last night in a victory? 312. 321, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dyslexic, fine. Tonight, what did Tim Heat have?
815.
Yeah,
it was a -1.
Okay, but either way, well, we all know plus minus is bullshit, according to Chris. But the fact of the matter is, that's what I think is so funny, is like Tim Heat barely plays, and the Sharks won. But Tim Heat plays at least a decent amount. Oh, they lost. He must be shit. And it's like, you need to look beyond it. You need to look beyond those numbers. That's what's driving me crazy. Of course, the Sharks are probably going to win when Burns and Carlson, when you've got two Norris Trophy winners playing damn near 30 minutes. Let's see how those guys playing 30 minutes a night, let's see where they're at and how they're feeling come Easter.
Yep.
Boom. Mic drop. I'm out.
All right, and with that, AJ will be logging off. We'll continue on with the third period. 14:31, Morgan Riley.
Third period?
Yeah, there was, sadly. 3-goal third period and 2 penalties. The Sharks took 4 penalties in a row. The Leafs, of course, member of the arbitrary 6, they don't get called for barely anything. Morgan Riley buries the game-winning goal. Nice pass from William Nylander to set it up at 14:31.
Sharks felt like this is the one goal tonight that Jones should have had a shot at.
And I think it was Anthony, let's see. Let me try and pull it back up here. Stephen Brindle saying, bro, Jones' glove side is garbage.
I wouldn't say it was garbage. He definitely snapped the leather a few times tonight. In fact, there was a couple times that we actually took a GIF and put it out on the Teal Town USA Twitter hashtag shameless promotion. I thought Jones actually had a really good night. I thought it was a good response to being pushed after Dell's play last night, 35-37. And I'm going to be the guy who sits there and goes, if Dell does not start versus Ottawa on Sunday, I might be the guy who starts, nudging the driver out of the seat to drive the Fire PDB bus. Cause that's, I'm sorry. That's just silly. And again, I'm not throwing tonight's loss on Jones. Yeah.
Absolutely
let in 3, it was an empty net for the third goal. He had this team. Jones, to me, in the first 2 periods, again, I thought the Sharks, about 5, 6, 7 minutes into the first, I thought they did really well. I thought they possessed the puck decently. Even if they didn't actually have possession, they were keeping it in the neutral, or beyond in the defensive zone. It felt to me like they were a little faster. That, despite what the shots on goal said, it felt like the Sharks were a scotch faster. And for the most part of the second, I felt the same way. So either way, I look at this. It's hard for me to hang this one on Jones tonight. And you know me. If I feel like it needs to be hung on Jones, it's hung on Jones. There was only one goal tonight for me that should have been hung on Jones, and that was the Riley goal. I felt like it was open, wasn't able to come up with it. That's one that you do need your tender to come up with from time to time.
Right.
I'm not going to hang him out for obviously the empty netter, nor the Austin Matthews, because at that point it's kind of fait accompli. But if somebody tries to hang Jones out for this game, I sit there and I point at shots on goal, and I point at the chances, and that's
and the thing is, they're stuck in their own zone.
Yeah, and if you look at the final numbers, the shots on goal, when it's like 17-27, you sit there, well, how the hell do you hang that on Jones? I hang that on Jones if it's 34-27. But when the Sharks get 3 shots on goal in the second period, you're not hanging that on Jones.
Yep.
And people know when I feel like Jones needs to be burned in effigy, I'm going to do it. Tonight was not one of those nights. Tonight was just lack of offense, man. I mean, just look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie, people.
We be remiss to say that AJ does have a thing about calling out goalies that were number 31 for the Sharks, all the way back to Wade Flaherty. So
this. He's not lying, people, is what we're trying to say.
1912, Mikheyev gets an empty netter from Marner. That pretty much sealed the deal. And then the worst part is that you allow a goal at 1930 for San Ramo native Austin Matthews. Gets his ninth. Glad he's okay.
Yeah, I guess all that time in the quiet room made him okay. Sure.
So final stats on the night, as we mentioned, 27-17 in favor of Toronto there. Fairly even in the faceoff circle, slight edge to Toronto, 51-49. Leafs go 0 for 5 on the power play.
Dude, I mean, again, we talked about it at the top of the show. Special teams are not a problem for the Sharks right now. I mean, they are killing it. I mean, Steve Spott, again, like, your job is not in jeopardy. Enjoy this 5 minutes of fame. But your job is not in jeopardy. The PK is killing it right now. To quote Zach, man, stay out of the fucking box. Like, do a little bit of better job. I mean, because let's be honest. Okay, Meyer putting his hand on the puck, yeah, that's a lazy penalty. It's bad.
A lot of these are pretty bad, though. I mean,
Couture slashing that's going to happen in any game. Slash here, slash there. It happens from time to time. For me, Meyer covering the puck with his hand. What do you do? For me, my whole thing is like, what referee caught that? But anyway, and then Melker, putting it. You go and look at the replay.
That's
again,
just bad
all
luck.
replays. Again, ladies and gentlemen, all replays can be found on the Teal Town USA Twitter. But yeah, that's just bad luck. I mean, he's trying to do what Melker usually does, which is usually really solid defense. And, it's, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. For the most times, Melker is the windshield. Tonight, he was the bug on that play. Even though he took that, the Toronto didn't even score on it. Nope. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people shit on Melker, and I get it. They look at the $2 million salary and everything like that. Fact of the matter is, you look at this guy's numbers, like when he's on the ice, people aren't scoring against him. He's got block shots. He's doing all the right things. Is it a hair maybe more expensive than you would want? Sure. Will we all like to have him at like 1.4? Fine. Yeah, I get that argument. Fact of the matter is, Melker Karlsson is one of the most reliable guys on this Sharks team. So you're not a Melker guy, kish mine took us. Or as somebody else would say, eat my entire ass.
Anthony Sanchez, not touching that one. Anthony Sanchez mentioning the reason the Sharks get caught in the defensive zone is because left wing, right wing don't cover the point man. They are playing too far deep and leaves no option to pass to start the offense, and essentially the breakout.
Yeah. They obviously need to be more defensively responsible. How fast can we get back Radim Šimić? I would love to see my pairing, Šimić Burns, Dylan Carlson, and Vlasic.
And Ferraro?
And Ferraro.
If you said Prout, so help you.
No, honestly, when the Sharks signed Prout, I was like, the fuck? No, I don't even know why the Sharks signed Prout, to be honest with you. I mean, we're talking about a team right now that's essentially carrying 8 defensemen. What? Stop it. Stop. Like, again, we go back to Tim Heed. He's either too bad to play or too good to wave. Make a decision. So
do they wait until Middleton is healthy?
See, and that's a hard play to make. Middleton and Heed are not even close to being the same player.
True, but they need the depth.
They need the depth. I mean, I guess if you start looking at contracts, but I mean, literally, what's the difference in contracts between Heed and Middleton? Like what? Like a 20?
Maybe that.
But
still.
Like $20.
Oh, 20.
So that's I don't know. I just look at that again. Let's see what this team looks like with Šimić back, and we get those pairs. Again, though, it goes down to how are we going to blend out these numbers? Because, it's going to be that case. Because, and let's be honest, Jamie Baker for the last couple of games has been talking about who was it? Was it Detroit or no? It was Montreal back in the day, right? When they won like 4 straight, and it's like, and it all had to do with the 3 defensive guys that they had. Who like the 3? It was like Gordie Howe and this guy and blah blah blah.
Oh.
So, either way, it doesn't even matter. But they're talking about, and I'm going, like, I love Jamie Baker. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. But I'm listening to him, and he's talking about how Montreal's 4 straight Stanley Cups all came from having 3 incredible studs on defense. And I'm going, that's a great story. That's also a 40 frickin' year old story. Like, the NHL is not what that, we're not even close. We're not, the NHL 20 years ago is not what it is today.
Nope.
So while I love what you're trying to put out there, I sit there and listen to it and I go, come on, man. Like, get your head in the game when what we're talking about today, it's a different, it's a different NHL. It's a different era. I hear that, and again, I point back to the defensive lapses that I keep seeing from this team, and it's maddening. And again, I don't have a personal vendetta against Erik Karlsson. Okay? I don't. As much as some people want to think I do. I don't have a personal vendetta against him. But some people are, and I'm going to be one of them from time to time, that sits there and go, when he makes a stupid mistake, not like an unlucky or untimely, but when he makes something where you look at it and you go, the hell was he thinking? That's when you sit there and go, oh, let me see. How much is he make? Oh, that's right. Highest paid guy on the planet playing that position. Those mistakes are going to be magnified based on the contract. Right or wrong, that's what's going to happen.
Chris mentioning the chat, Sharks games where they outshoot opponents almost all the time only win 60% of the time. Miss me yet?
Oh, I totally miss Chris and his annoying metrics.
Let's just put it this way: the metrics for AJ being upset with a guy who spells his name Erik, pretty high.
Yeah, pretty much. And Anthony Sanchez on the chat right now, dude, dude, you are just wrong. 95 million. It's 92 million.
That's right. 3 million less.
Get your number right. It's 11.5 million reasons per year, which equals 92. Teal Town needs a Discord channel. What the fuck is a Discord channel?
Oh, we'll get into that after the year.
Yeah, we'll do it after dark.
But let's put it this way. Is it time?
Hold on. No, it isn't yet. Because I need to put it out to everybody right now. I need to put it. Did you guys miss me over those first 10 games?
Oh.
Did you miss me? I feel like I missed you. Just to let you know, second period has ended in Colorado. The Eagles are still up 2-0 over the San Jose Barracuda. That's unfortunate. This could be their second loss in a row after losing to the LA Kings affiliate Ontario Reign last week, which was not good. The Barracuda have let in 5 goals per game when it comes to playing Ontario. And what is it that makes Randy Hahn say that's not good?
Like icing on the power play.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's been whenever the Barracuda play the Ontario Reign. So anyway, yeah. After 2 periods in Colorado, the Eagles 2, Barracuda 0. Not good.
And unfortunately, AJ beat me to it for when I were to put the overlay in. So
drop it like it's hot.
Ooh, Barracuda.
There you go. All right.
Feels so good.
Whenever you can drop a sweet graphic like that from the Barracuda organization, it's working. All right. In that case, since we already started, it's time.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
Stockton is leading 10 points. Damn, dude. The Heat are killing it. Ontario right behind him with 9 points. I don't know. The Barracuda have some work to do right now. to be honest with you. I'm sorry. Did I went off to another thing? All right, fine. Fine. Grab me where you love me.
Right on the top of the shoulder. It's wraparound time. Oh boy. I'm not going to go there. All right, a bunch of games going on tonight in the NHL. We'll start off with the one that's currently in progress in Vancouver. The Canucks are up 2-1 on the Capitals. Kuznetsov gets his fourth. Brock Besser with a power play goal. Schaller with a shorty for John Shorthouse.
I'm sorry. Kuznetsov scored?
No, you dare. Yes, his fourth of the season.
Kuznetsov scored. Makes me wonder how good that goal smelled.
Hopefully he doesn't blow it. Speaking of blowing things, the Golden Knights...
Oh, shit. Hold on. Wait a minute. The Canucks have 3 goals, all of the different variety?
Did they just score again?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay, so 1 power play, 1 shorty. I thought I saw an extra in there. So anyway, oh, shit. The Golden Knights got rocked. Hey, now.
Oh, yeah. The Golden Knights got rocked. 2 goals from Nazem Kadri, 2 goals from Matt Calvert, in a 6-run thrubbing of the Golden Knights by the Colorado Avalanche. Grubauer with the victory.
No, dude, I so want to see Fleury's postgamer in that. I so want to see that. I do.
I was going to wait for Marchessault to blame everybody else, including the referees. So.
Oh, shit. Hold on. What the hell happened in New Jersey? Because I'm looking at my stat sheet, and it's a little odd. So
the Desert Dogs.
Arizona 5-3. Yeah, Desert Dogs 5-3 over the Devils. Yeah, okay, fine. Schmaltz, Grabner, Ekman Larson, Hayton, Keller, all the usual suspects. Ronto with the win. But the whole thing is that I'm looking at my score sheet, and I see Jay Hughes on there on the power play, and I'm going, I didn't know Rocket played for the Devils.
Hey, now.
No? Yeah, too soon. Oh, Jesus Christ. So on Sunday, the San Jose Sharks get to play the Ottawa Tyler Ennis's.
Yeah. Tyler Ennis with 2 goals, not enough as the Islanders win 4-2. In that one, that's the Sharks' next opponent. And boy, howdy, not to steal Zach's, line, but it's definitely got to be a must-win if they go into Ottawa.
Dude, the Sabres are pissing me off. This team has sucked for so long, and now you decide to come out of it. Okay, fine.
Whatever. Yeah, and of course they're not doing without Pominville, which really pisses me off. The Sabres shut out the Red Wings 2-0. Steven Reinhart and McCabe with goals there as Olmark.
Who cares?
So
there's no Sharks tilt to that. Nobody cares.
And tomorrow.
Oh, Tierney. Okay, good for you. Yeah, okay, fine.
And tomorrow, while we
they're gonna play hockey outside. Good for them.
In Regina.
In my what?
In Regina, Saskatchewan. They're going to go to what Drew Remenda calls, I believe, the Paris of the Prairies.
Oh, I thought he called it his backyard.
Well,
I will have to talk to him. I will have to talk to him.
Yes, and Ian will be in Ottawa on Sunday. We're hoping to get him to check in from his first appearance in the NHL rink.
Finally put that freaking fire out. No, I'm kidding.
Damn.
No, dude, he should have been in San Jose 2-3 years ago.
That's for sure. So
anyway, yeah, I think with that, it's probably time to put a nice tidy bow on this shit show. Oh,
I didn't think it was.
I think that needs to be on the back of a Teal Town USA shirt.
No.
Tidy bow on the shit show.
No.
I like that.
No.
I like it.
No.
That might need to be an AJ only shirt.
No.
Speaking of shirts, there's literally 4 left. 4 left on the website. Hopefully you wear that correct size. We have 2 teal larges and I think a small and medium women's, and then a small and medium stuff. So hey, Christmas is right around the corner, people. Hell, Halloween is right around the corner. go as Halloween, go and collect candy as a Teal Town USA show host.
You can
Get
have
your kid a shirt, and that you can make that happen, people.
Yeah, you can either have me sound like laryngitis. You can have,
Right?
AJ.
Sure.
You can have AJ just tell the people to kiss my tuchus.
Yeah,
You know?
that too. Oh, and I see that 3 people give us a thumb down, and there's a finger up
AJ,
for you.
no.
There's a finger up for you.
Yeah. And with that, we better get out of here before he gets any crazier. AJ,
Yeah, I'm
good
not.
to
I'm not done. I'm not.
You're not done.
I'm not effing done.
You're not done.
A new Pucknologist will be rolling out this weekend, hopefully Sunday night, possibly Monday morning. So have a look out for that. Again, we're kind of switching up the show a little bit this season, so hopefully you enjoy it. Again, doing some fun stuff on the Instagram and Twitter and expanding that as much as we can.
Yep.
More and more articles on the website, tealtownusa.com. Did I check out the grilled cheese at SAP Center? Yes, in fact, I did, and it was actually pretty tasty. Still
Felix.
waiting for the exclusive Angry AJ Tree costume. Dude, it's a licensing deal. I got to work on that. Time for Discord AJ. Explain to me what the hell Discord is, and I will make it happen. So with that, I am AJ_Strong on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm not on there that much because I'm too busy building up Teal Town USA. So there you go. And fun to be with you after 10 games or some shit. And I guess I'll see you, I don't know, after Thanksgiving. I don't know. It all came down to the fact that I got tired of seeing Ian on here. So what can you do? I'm kidding.
Damn.
6 of the last 8. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
You know what it was? Steve was like, dude, these people don't make me laugh. You do. You need to get on there. And I was like, okay, I can help you.
What is there to laugh about?
1,500 games, dude.
We're 4, 6, and 1 for crying out loud.
The humor in anything.
I'm anymore.
You don't
we're
think
gonna
rape
compare
is
ourselves
funny?
to 92, 93.
I can find the humor in anything. You don't think rape is funny? Imagine Bugs Bunny raping porcupines.
Okay, we're out of here. And with
funny.
that, I'm at PuckGuy14.
let it go.
Oh my God, no.
I'm
at PuckGuy14.
It's all kidding, people. Do not Me Too. Do not at me with Me Too, okay? Calm down. Everybody relax.
I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram, if we still have an Instagram. If you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on Teal Town 471. Thank you, Anthony. Just makes it even better. And what's better is having a Happy Steve Dangle tomorrow on YouTube. Great. I'm at PuckGuy14.
Oh, is he going to be a little upset about the Matthews hit from Dale?
No, he's gonna be very happy because the Leafs win 4-1 over the San Jose Sharks. I'm at PuckGuy14.
I got something I want to dangle over Dingle, but anyway.
No, I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and Instagram. No, because I want to try to get him on here. We'll be back with you Sunday following the Sharks in Ottawa. And,
Hold on.
And
Sunday.
There's only 2 reasons to be here. If you're jail, you're dead. If you're jail, break out.
Oh, no. You might have paid for all of the seat, but you'll only use the edge.
At the Cow Palace this Sunday. Actually, it's going to be at the Canadian Tire Center on Sunday for the Ottawa Senators and the San Jose Sharks. For the sake of our sanity, please win that game. I do not need to hear a game-winning goal from Dylan DeMello, assisted by Chris Tierney. And Mikkel Bodker.
But the thing is, remember though, 3 of 4, 3 games and 4 nights on the road. Excuse, hole activated. Let's just start digging for more excuses.
Nope.
Right now.
Not at this point. You're 4-7-1. You need to get your crap together. And if you don't get together, man, you think Ottawa would be smiling after a win? Just think how great they're smiling. Just think how great they're smiling right now that the Sharks are going to be last in the Pacific by the weekend.
Yeah, well, we're talking like 12 games into the season. It's still, it's still not even Halloween and their last blah, blah, blah. The Niners go 7-0. I don't give a shit what happens Sunday night. I'm just lose my mind. I don't even care.
All right. With that, let's get out of here. You can hit that subscribe button, follow us on our social media, check out our videos. We'll be back with you Sunday following Sharks and Senators. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you on Sunday. Please win for the sake of